For my presentation, I'm going to be doing Beetlejuice the musical, and the music is by Eddie Perfect, both the music and the lyrics. Okay, so the story starts off with Lydia Dietz, who mourns the loss of her mother and who has recently died. Lydia and her father, Charles, and Delilah, a woman that Charles hired to be Lydia's life coach, move into a quaint house to start a new life without Lydia's mom. Adam and Barbara Maitland, a couple that looks like they've emerged from an LL Bean catalog, had recently fallen through the floor and died in that house that Charles Dietz now owns. But they have not left it and now haunt it, but not really. They are friendly. Lydia enlists the help of the Maitlands, who she can see, to scare her father out of the house. But they don't prove to be very effective. In a desperate move, Lydia recruits an invisible demon, Beetlejuice, who she can also see, who is eager to go into working scaring people, but he's a little more difficult to control. Once more, if Beetlejuice can get Lydia to marry him, he can be brought back to life. Through some twists and turns of the plot, Beetlejuice is eventually brought to heel by his demon mother. Lydia and Charles are brought closer together as father and daughter when they share their feelings of mourning and loss. And the Maitlands gain strength and boldness to move forward in the afterlife. That is the synopsis of the story. Okay, now the history of the show. This musical is an adaptation of the 1988 Tim Burton film Beetlejuice. And to make the story work, the musical creators had to make some changes in the plot and had to reconceive some of the characters. The creators wanted to capture the aesthetic that Tim Burton created in the film, but they knew that they had more to do with it than just copy it. The costume designer defined the aesthetic they arrived at for the musical as a cartoonish, joyous world of the most frightening clowns you've ever seen. The show garnered mixed reviews from a trial run in Washington, D.C. that they used to tweak aspects of the show, even adding a few new songs. The show opened on Broadway in April 2019 and has currently been put on hold during this time because of the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, now I will be talking about the director. Okay, Eddie Perfect. Sorry about that. He was born in Australia on December 17th, 1977. He's also known as a singer, songwriter, pianist, comedian, writer, and actor. He is widely known for his role as Mick Holland and the Australian TV series Offspring, where he performed some of his own music. He's especially known for his political humor. In 2007, Perfect performed in Keating, the musical, in which he played many of the characters, and he lampoons Alexander Downer, the former Australian Prime Minister for Foreign Affairs. In 2015, he moved to New York to try his hand at writing Broadway musicals. His first musical, King Kong, opened on Broadway in October 2018 and closed the following August. In April 2019, his second show, Beetlejuice, opened at the Winter Garden Theater. But is currently on pause, like I said, because of the coronavirus pandemic. Okay, now we'll go on to one of the songs as my first example, the whole being dead a lot, dead thing. Sorry. Okay. This occurs at the beginning of the show. The scene is Lydia Dietz's mother's funeral. It is obvious that Lydia is sad, mourning the loss of her mother. With all the mourners gathered at the graveside, the macabre clown, Beetlejuice, crashes the funeral, singing, dancing, and making wisecracks about death. Beetlejuice addresses the audience directly. The song briefly introduces Lydia, but is really meant to introduce and showcase the supernatural demon Beetlejuice. The song demonstrates that the usually somber topic of death will be dealt with in a boisterously irrelevant comedic fashion, setting the tone for the show. Okay, the next song I will be talking about is Beautiful Sound. Okay, Beautiful Sound happens after Lydia agrees to having let Beetlejuice help her scare her father out of the house that they are living in. Previously owned by the Maitlands, who still haunt it but are very friendly. She and Beetlejuice go on a campaign to frighten everyone who approaches or enters into the house, starting with a Girl Scout with a heart condition. The song marks the momentous occasion that now Beetlejuice doesn't have to be invisible to the world any longer. He does something very... sorry, I messed up. Well, he celebrates with his show-stopping number that includes a chorus of Beetlejuice clones. Okay. The final song I will be doing is Dead Mom. Lydia sings this song alone as if she's communicating with her dead mom. She expresses the desire for her mother to return, feeling like her father no longer cares that she is gone. Lydia prays to her mother to show her a sign that she is still there. Lydia expresses her determination to make her father acknowledge the reality that tragedy struck their family. Okay. Now I'll be talking about society at that time in the show. Okay. When the show hit Broadway, the American economy was going strong. It was a time when people probably had some disposable income to spend, and a Broadway show, and maybe a nice dinner beforehand. A show like Beetlejuice might have been expected to be successful because it had a built-in audience of people who had already enjoyed the 1988 movie and were already tuned into the characters and the plot. The type of irrelevant humor in Beetlejuice had already been long established in American entertainment as a winning formula. Who could have predicted that out of nowhere in the middle of its run would be this shutdown by something that would be considered even stranger and more surreal than the show? At this point, one might wonder if the show will return when Broadway reopens. Will people embrace a show that deals with death in such a lighthearted fashion when so many have been recently traumatized by losses sustained due to the pandemic? Okay, now I'll be talking about the transfers. Beetlejuice falls in the tradition of stories that originates as films and were then adapted into musicals. Some examples are Once, Sister Act, School of Rock, Bring It On, Shrek, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, Lion King, Newsies. And in some ways, Beetlejuice's macabre humor is similar to the Addams Family musical. The Rocky Horror Picture Show is similar to Beetlejuice in the way it combines elements of horror and frames it into comedy, music, and dance. Well, this is all I have for the transfers and all I have for the PowerPoint, so bye.